Oi, oi, how you doing? Today is Sunday, the 29th of November, 2020. Just trading the UK horse races like you would financial markets here. So let's just kick off straight away. Just seeing some opportunities now. I've got the 12 minutes to off on this race here. 45 grand matched, 102 101.5% on the book, percentage on the book, so nice tight book. And let me just check my mic's working. Come on, mate. Yes, it is. Thank God for that. Don't any more fuck ups. So, yeah. So we've got a favourite at 3, second favourite also at 3, third favourite also at 3s. This one's drifting out, this one's steaming in, this one's also been steaming in. Just have a quick reorder on that. Okay. So, be looking to potentially short this, go long on this, potentially short this. But just want to get a temperature for the market first of all before jumping in. Even though I can see opportunity there, it's about just finding a decent reference point. But yeah, if you are following on Twitch, great. So it's just Mr. I've forgotten the name for a sec there, Mr. Exchange Trader. So I'd look to stream every day there around midday UK time, and then also upload to YouTube as well. So if you're on YouTube, do feel free to like the video and also subscribe to the channel, and get more of these. Leave a comment as well, anything that you might want to ask. Primarily is for my benefit here that I'm recording these, but happy to help anyone else if I can. Yeah, so just trying to find out what we might do with these. 10 minutes tee off. This, since we started, looks like it's just finding support. In the same way this is finding resistance. And this is also finding support. So these look strongly inversely correlated. So this goes in, this goes up. When this comes in, that goes up. So it's a good thing, I didn't just jump on that getting short just because it was going down from past price action. So this here, as it's found support, could be just a pullback. So it's retracing before it moves lower, or it could be a reversal. This looks like it's just punched new highs. Which could bring one of these two in further. 8 minutes to the off. Wait a minute, what? That doesn't make sense. This feels like it's moving down, but the chart is punching new highs. Especially with the first trade of the day here. Don't want to make a similar mistake as I did yesterday. Just went in a bit too strong. Didn't really get a feel for the market. And it was a big, what in relative terms to what I trade here. Still working minimum stakes for now, just while getting a nice sample size of results to get a feel for the markets. But yeah, the first trade of the day was a big loss. It's about £1.50, which is around about what I'd make on a typical day. So was able to claw some of that profit, some of that loss back, but it was still loss on the day. But it's just a good example, not just to jump into something too eagerly from the get-go. Just keep your wits about you, because the market can be exceedingly unforgiving. You know what? I'm just gonna. One other thing that I found yesterday as well is my sweet spot seems to be like the 15 minutes or so before the off in terms of trading. Going into that 5 minutes is the danger zone for me. Danger zone. So moved on to the next one. 12:30 is the next one. 16 minutes to the off. 40 grand match. Good. Very tight book. Great. Favourite here at 2s, so odds on, just broken through 2s by looks of it. So it could be finding resistance off of 2s because it's come in. Although it's come in. It's coming pretty hard. And it does look like it's finding support just below 2s. So it's just flattening out, as you can see there. So around like 198. Second favourite here, bit choppy. I mean, it's always been a bit sideways. It has drifted, it's come back in, it's found support again at these round about these lows here. Could be on a retrace here to attack these lows again. Third favourite, yeah, it's drifted, and then just pulled back. Okay, it's find support, potentially attacking these highs again to find resistance. Favourite does look like it's punching lower, which could punch these a bit higher, at least one of these two. So I'm looking for reference points. So this is okay. So this is punched to create a new high. Chart was lagging. Is approaching 5s. So that's a good reference point, being a crossover point. It might just find resistance there, or if it breaks through, it could, which it looks like it might do in the next second or so, it could then break through and then pull back to find support at 5s. So I'm just keeping an eye on this one for now, because I think I'm a bit late on getting on the favourite there. Alright. So I'm trying to take a position here. Yeah. I'm trying to take a position here on the assumption that this is going to continue to break through the breakthrough 5s here, given that this has started to move in. So I've taken, I've got a pending all in there for, I've already got a £2 net stake, trying to add to that position. So that's been taken, so £4 net stake, and there's just one order left to fill. So I do need this to stop finding resistance here and actually punch higher. Just going to take one more at 4.9. Just to increase this stake. And you see I've put my closing order in there. So that's for a partial exit. I'm going to put some more partial exits in it as well at different prices. I just have to be wary that although I thought this could move higher, it might just be finding resistance. What I want it to do is break and then come back and find support at 5s. But yeah, what you want and what it does, two different things. Let's see if we can maneuver around that to make a profit. So it's a bit of a waiting game now. 12 minutes to the off still. This is another reason why I'm trying. Why it's I prefer taking positions just slightly outside the money, because now it is hitting resistance, but I'm still positioned that I can just at least steal a tick if it keeps if it keeps bouncing into 5s. ultimately I do want it to break, but you know, I'm positioned so that at least I can attempt to reduce the loss or break even or make a smaller profit. So it does look at the chart that it could be just pulling back. Not too fussed about that at the moment, because that's in the normal course of things. Price will never move in a straight line. It will go up, pull back, and then potentially bust higher, like an impulse move higher, and then do the same. So at the moment, it looks just like it's in a retrace phase, coming to find support off of this previous highs here, off of this previous resistance. It's coming back into this. So yeah, there's still a good enough reason to hang tight, hang on in this position here to potentially see it move higher, but just need to be wary of any clues that might not happen. So it breaking this previous resistance or the support it's making now, and moving much lower than that, would be a definite sign that I'm wrong. But this, I can see this out the corner of my eye moving in, which could help push this up. But it is a waiting game. So we can only wait and see what happens, really. 10 minutes to the off, or 11 minutes to the off. And as that ticks down, I may need to just, reassess my position, because nearer this gets to 0, the more risk there is. I did gain a few new followers the other day on YouTube, so appreciate those follows as well. Very appreciated. As I said, this should be daily, so feel happy to look at any mistakes and profits that I make. If you can learn from it, great. This is moving in very heavy, but it isn't, it looks like it's affecting this one more than this one. So this one started to move up and go into resistance. It's past 4s. This hasn't given the upward movement that I would anticipate, because this is such a big part of the book. I mean, I'm guessing something else might be just drifting out that isn't within. Just have a quick reorder. Isn't within the field of vision. Oh no, this is at hundreds. No way. Oh, well, there we go. Okay, so we've seen some movement higher. Finally. So we've got a net stake of 4. Should I be slightly more aggressive and wait for this to move potentially higher? This is still moving in. I will hold on to this for a little bit longer, or leave this position here. See if that gets matched. Oof. At the same time, don't want any of those gains to be, evaporate just because of being too greedy. So I'm going to do. So I've got £4 to lay off. I've got a position above where the touch is, and I've put something in at the touch as well. That's starting to retrace. Let me just act on that. Should have moved the other one, but hey ho. So I was just seeing this at the corner of my eye starting to retrace. This is moving in as well, which will affect, or is likely to affect, this one. So I've just reduced my expectations slightly on what would be possible. Obviously got a bit more wiggle room now in terms of the break even. So whereas it was 5s before, to lose money on this it would need to go all the way down to 4.4, which could happen. Fuck knows, with this market anything can happen. So just can't be too complacent, but we'll see if we can get out here at this level, this desired level. Does feel just like it's a pullback at the moment rather than any potential reversal. Even in this, this is a downtrend and it looks like it's just pulling back. So there is good reason to keep this in there. It's just as it comes into that 5 minute mark, I know that you can see as well, it's that same concept. It's whereas this was the previous high where it was hitting resistance and it wasn't moving any further, pulled away, broken through that previous resistance, and it's coming back into it to find support. So the theory is it might just consolidate for a while here before moving higher, or it might just break through lower and reverse. Now I just need to be careful about just being too greedy, because as you can see already some of my profits evaporated and it's gone back past fives. Here's what I'm going to do. So I've got a feeling even if it persists to move lower, it would still find resistance rather than support at fives as it goes into it and bounces up. Find resistance as it goes down and moves back up into it. So I've put my exit there now, and hopefully that will get matched. Could have made more profit on that, but I was reading what the market was telling me. Really, I was trying to listen to what it was saying. Can't count chickens before they hatch here though. This is still waiting to be matched. Okay, so that's got matched, and we're just going to green up on this. So 23p across the board. On to the next one, and again it's not the hang on, did I green on that? Just a lapse of thought there. Yeah, okay, I have. So yeah, it's not the pound amount that matters here. It's just the consistency of getting a decent strike rate, and also just paying attention as well to the profit in proportion to the loss. But so far it's been good progress. There are some things we just need to iron out, but ultimately looking to scale up in the future. So we've got an odds-on favourite. It's come in, drifted, looks like it's hitting resistance at previous highs. Very sideways at the moment, just consolidating. Second favourite, fives. Okay, so it drifted, came in, hit resistance at these previous lows here. So this previous support was resistance. Come away, and it's just kind of a bit choppy at the moment, consolidating. Third favourite here, quite high odds, but definitely just very sideways, finding resistance at around 15s. So what can I see? 12 minutes to the off, 50 grand match, tight book. Yep, good enough for trading. So just trying to figure out how I can structure a trade. Fives. Really? Just have a look at that. It's just above fives. Yeah, well, I'm just looking for clarity really, so I can make the trade rather than be too preemptive. So this here is definitely moving back into that resistance at I might have just broken it, just around 1.5. Just have a sip of coffee. This looks like it could punch past support. Big chunk of money there. Punch this down. Could move this up again. What are we doing on time? 10 minutes. These big amounts of money here that's staying at the touch, so they're serious. It's in fact being increased, so someone does want to back this. As it's coming into resistance, though. And this comes into support. So at the moment, I'm looking for signs that this, because this is coming to quite strong support, this is coming to quite strong resistance. I'm anticipating there could be a bounce, so it moves back within the range. So I'm looking for evidence of that might be the case. So that would be a sharp move down here, or a sharp move up this way. Eight minutes and a half till the off. It's 1.5 area that I think is the resistance area. Put something slightly outside the money. And another one. Just keep it nice and light now, because this is the kind of shit that could come to bite you in the arse, because there isn't any real confirmation that this could, you know, reverse. But at the same time, nothing really saying that it could punch lower either. There is some, it looks like it's just, you know, heavily trying to be backed in here around this 1.5, which could push this higher. But I'm just trying to still tick here really, and potentially increase the position, you know, if it starts to move higher. That support is pretty strong so far. It's just consolidated. So just stealing a tick, hopefully. Of course, it's the same play on this. I could just play off of this being potential resistance at this 1.5. It's just I'd need to go behind that chunk of money, which will take longer to get matched. It's quite sticky. It's just taking a while for the money to be taken, which is not what you really want in the liquid market. You want it to be taken, you know, reasonable soon, not necessarily instant, but you know, within a few seconds. You can see I'm right at the front of the queue on this one, estimated anyway, and it's still not been taken. I'll be very unlucky if this doesn't get matched. This is definitely kind of starting to move down as well, so that helps my position. More strong move there. I'm going to try and add to this. How could that? So I'm right at the front of this queue on this one. This one was moving down strongly, but now it's just broken that support as I try to add to it, which doesn't aid my position. So I'm going to scratch. I did keep this position relatively light.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Coming into that 5-minute period where statistically I don't really do as well. So just trying to scratch this. I'm keeping this one in because I'm just right at the front of the queue. Surprised that didn't get matched. It does appear there's pressure on this coming down. This one has started to drift quite hard, which but it's at 20s. Bloody hell. Whew. Yeah, just looking to get out of this. There we go. All right. Not the biggest of profits, but yeah, you can see the premise of this really changed. Whereas I was looking to buy off support here, it consolidated, broke support, and now looks like it could potentially be making, a downtrend, lower lows and lower highs. So I'm happy to get out of that, even if it does, do what I anticipated. The context had changed from when I entered. So, next one. 4-horse race. 4 horses. 12 minutes to the off. Favourite come in. Found support. Hitting retracing here. Second favourite, 2s. Kind of drifted. Very deep retrace, potential reversal. Third favourite, very choppy. Just reorganise those, just in case. Yeah, okay. So, fourth favourite, well, what was the fourth favourite is overtaken the third favourite. But let's see what we can see. Well, this one looks like it's finding potential support at this previous high. Excuse me. Just above 5.25. So this 5.52 could be acting as support. This previous high that's come into. This could be moving into resistance of these previous lows, which would mean, in trading terms, would be potentially looking to go long on this or to potentially short this. Just trying to get a heartbeat first of what's going on. These lagging charts. I'm not jumping on this just yet. So, like I said, I did find support. I did see support this finding at this level, but this quite strong move down could just be the context of lower lows and lower highs. So, just looking for a bit more clarity, really. You know what? Although I'm seeing opportunity in that one, what I'm going to do is move on to the next one just to get a little bit more lead time if possible. It's just because my comfort zone seems to be like around 15 minutes and the last two have been less than that. So just trying a few things here, not too many variables that I'm changing, but yeah, basically this isn't the greatest of quality. That's matched already. 20 grand. What's the next one after this? Okay, let's see what we can do on this one. So we've got 20 grand matched. It looks very stagnant market. Nothing's really moving at the moment, but it is still relatively early doors. The book's pretty tight, 101.8. Got the favourite here just been consolidating, hitting fours. Second favourite coming in, consolidating, hitting fives. Third favourite also just, it's all very sideways at the moment. But if there was more movement in this, would I be... I was going to say I might make a market on this one. So just lay this and back this. But let me just see if there's good reason to do that. Yeah, it's a bit thin, isn't it? I get a sense this could be good just to steal a tick. You can see there it's just been on 4s. It's not been moving much higher than 4.1. But it can be a slightly riskier type of trade because, you know, it could break that support or resistance at any point, especially as the time comes in. And there just isn't any... There isn't as much contrary information in the other selections that I'd like. So if this was like a nice big range, you know, wide range, and this was bottom of support, and then the second favor was at the top of you know, resistance, that would be a better premise to you know, go long on this. But it's just a very shallow range that it's been moving within, which means there's just not as much profit potential, greater risk. So yeah, I just have to sit on my hands really until something materializes or I decide to move on. So that is, how many is that traded today? I've passed on quite a few. So just looking off screen at the moment. But yeah, I mean, one of the many reasons that I decided to just start recording these is you know, as I said, just for my own posterity, just to see how developed over time. There are some insights. What is this? I think this is episode 19. So 19 days of doing this. Yeah, it is 19. So yeah, it's just to find out how I've been trading, what works, what doesn't, and also, yeah, just capture my train of thought really. Third favorite here. It's very, very rangy. And what I've found is in the is that 9s? No, it's 8s. What I found in the lead up to the off, in this kind of basically anything up to 30 minutes before the off, a lot of there isn't as much volatility, but the selections would still move within a range, so there is opportunity to trade that based on it just, you know, hitting support and then resistance. But there needs to be the right amount of money coming through the market to make that viable. And, you know, 23 grand matched is just not a lot of money. Even with, you know, 13 minutes see off, 14 minutes see off, I'd expect a bit more. So I'll give this a bit more breathing room just to see what else could come through. But it might just be a case of moving on to the next one. Just got to be patient with this stuff. And yeah, that was the other thing I was trying to think of. The reason why I record these is just to show how boring it can be for some people. You know, this can be monotonous, especially when you're having to, you know, sit on your hands as I'm doing here. It's really just warts and all. You know, could cherry pick all the ones that have gone well. I'm not doing that. It's just, you know, the videos here are long, can be boring, but that's the reality, really. If you want to make money, that is. Of course, there might be other ways to do this that I'm just missing, but just doing what works for me. It's just broken fives, hasn't it? So potentially looking to short this or go long on this. Still looks like it's within its range, really. I'm going to put something just above. Oh, I just hate the way these. So what I'm saying here by placing this position is I anticipate that this could find some bearishness and approach these lows again. And, oh yeah, okay, right. I just saw that massive shift there, which is going to break the previous resistance and potentially, you know, see this move much higher, but also see this move lower. So I'm just try to build a position based on that premise. That this could break these lows. Just going to take a partial exit there just to take some money off the table, but at the same time have something in there just to add to it as well should the price retrace. So it does look like it could be finding resistance off of fives, but it hasn't convincingly broke those lows. So yeah, that's why it makes sense to take some money off the table, because it just might just be finding support at those lows. What have I got? Let's take a 4. I've left these in. That's a bit too steep, isn't it, going in for that much given the conditions? So I've just removed one of those orders. Just trying to listen to what's going on, really. And this is just consolidating a lot. So I'm going to try and take something out of the touch. This has moved up, but it's coming counter the resistance at these highs here, which doesn't really help my position. I want it to move convincingly past those highs, but still got some, you know, I've got some skin in the game, got profits that I'm handling at the moment. 9 minutes to off. Still very sideways. Might get matched on this as well, which I'm okay with, because it's still within the realms of this being resistance, these highs here. It's if it breaks much higher than that, then it becomes problematic. So what could cause that would be a break of these falls if this moves much lower than that. Yeah, let's see how this pans out. I've got £8 net position. So the way I've stacked this is just to take some money near that support, put one way out of the, or not way out, but just in the instance that there might be a breakout, I'll put in an exit there. But yeah, just need to protect these. Well, protect my overall capital here, because I am in a losing position here. I've got, oh, look at this, bloody hell, didn't even see this. Yeah, got a losing position here. Got some sensibly placed take profits, but the market is against me at this point. 7 minutes to the off. Just moved into that resistance of those previous highs, which is good. So I'm just holding fire for now. But it could be creeping higher. 6.5 minutes to the off. So this bouncing off of fours would be good. This bouncing or finding resistance off of this would be good. But yeah, just gotta wait. 6 minutes to the off. You can see as well, I mean, the most recent move has been bullish, so it's quite, you know, it's extended, but it's come into that resistance with these previous, I guess, these previous lows here and these previous highs here. So I'm just not convinced it will continue to move up. But at the same time, I can't be too wrong and strong. So I've just moved up. This event will start in 5 minutes. Just moved up one of those positions there, just to lighten the position slightly. So I've got a net position of 6 now. Just aware that, you know, getting closer to the off as well. And it doesn't look like it could break much lower. So what's my position on that? 88. So moved into this one here. Okay, got matched. Okay. Feel that could have, you know, if I wanted to be more aggressive, definitely left in for a bigger move there, but it's just, you know, 4 minutes to the off. Hadn't convincingly broken support. But yeah, I'm happy with that. On to the next one. 12 minutes. Prefer to be here earlier, but still odds on favourite coming into support, potentially just breaking it. Second favourite, kind of drifting but rangy in recent price action, potentially moving to support these previous lows here. So these look like they're correlated at the moment, which is not what we want. So both of them are coming into support. I want one to be going into support, one to be going into resistance. Let's just see if there's anything else. And if you're on YouTube and you've managed to get this far through, I know the videos are very long, but yeah, do give a thumbs up if you're finding it useful, and subscribe, just so you can be updated when he's released. Typically it's going to be every day. Might do some other stuff just depending on how much time I have available, just like some, I guess, tutorial stuff, but yeah, I'm no expert at this, just have had a lot of experience in different markets, so financial markets. But yeah, if you want to subscribe or ask any questions in the comments, feel free to. So again, just looking for reference points. Got the front two here, just moving into support. I mean, a drift in one of these, or a drift in one of these could mean that the other's moving lower and will break support. So I guess with this approaching sevens, where this has been quite a strong level of support, if this were to break sevens, and this, out the corner of my eye, this would start, moving up, that could be a good reason to be short on it. So that would be something I might, I'm just anticipating to work around. If see this break and then wait for it to break and then pull back, or a sharp movement up on that. But yeah, it's a bit of a conjecture really until I can see that happening. Or at least this coming up into resistance might be a good reference point. Yeah, if I saw this approach these highs of 1.7, oh god, it is all the way up there. If that gets to 1.7 and there's no signs of this breaking, then laying this could be the better option, because this would be at support, that would be at resistance. So I'd anticipate that this, basically the seesaw action of this then coming back down and then this potentially moving back up. Yeah, sorry, sometimes this is just a stream of thought, so it's not always a coherent putting together of words. Okay, I'm going to, because I've seen this potentially move into resistance, I'm going to try and build a position on the anticipation that this is actually going to bounce. So I've got something in on a touch, something in on sevens as well, which I feel is that kind of support area that is probably not going to move much lower than, and then something just below the sevens as well, just in in case I can get a bargain. But obviously for it to move higher, just waiting to see if I can get filled on this one. This is continuing to move up, which isn't the thing that I want to see. It is because I want this to get filled, but it isn't because overall I want this to start moving down again. But I need this order to get filled so that I've got some skin in the game. Okay, and how long we got? 7 minutes. See, I could just play it safe and just try and steal a tick. Just play a bit of defense. So it's literally just one tick profit that I'm getting here if this gets matched. Okay, so it's moved down into sevens. This is moved up. Just have to be careful that that isn't a break, and it is just resistance that it finds. Otherwise, yeah, I could see a break lower on this. Shit, which is what I think could be happening. So, just trying to steal a tick on that. You know what? Just don't like the way that's started to create lower lows. It looks like it's punching past 7s. That could be a could be finding support. So yeah, paid very defensive there, but could be better, could be worse. Made money, didn't lose money. So greened up there for between 7 and 10p profit. On to the next one. So next one we've got is at oh, it's quite close, isn't it? 13.12, 112, 12 minutes to off, 40 grand match, tight book, odds on favourite, very flat, second favourite, very flat, everything's quite flat, no discernible trend. So very stagnant market as well, just doesn't feel like there's money coming through. So it could be very easy to make a silly mistake here. Let's just see what the P&L is saying on the day. Poof. Not that much. See, we're waiting to get settled. 20 on that. 30 on that. About 55p on a day. Okay, so second favourite here, I think that's just below 6s. Is its resistance. So I guess about 5.9. Is this the highest in recent times where it's going to kind of meet in that resistance? So this, it looks like it could be punching lower, and I reckon a punch higher than 5.9 here, you know, ideally past 6, could see this move higher, break these previous highs, break that resistance. So going long on this and going short on this are the two viable options that I see. Yeah, I'll get in on that. Might run away on me though. You can see how it's broken. Well, when the chart re-updates again, it's going to show it's broken past those highs. So got some skin in the game and just trying to increase that position as well. Put a closing position in there to take a tick. Although I do feel it will move higher. Yeah, the way that move is moving down is going to help push this potentially higher. But I just want to get a decent fill on it. 8 minutes to off. 8 minutes 45 seconds. Hasn't been any convincing moves on this. Might just lighten that, my expectation. So despite this coming in quite aggressively, this hasn't really moved off. And you can see how long that order's been there. It's just been very very sticky, just not getting matched. This is pulling back now, so so put in another closing order there. So I do feel that this 6s is at least acting as support, which should allow this one to get filled. What would help that is this making another impulsive move down. Yeah. Just waiting to get filled here. I'm going to just take that order out because I think the context has changed slightly. Some minutes. I've got decent position on that now, but I don't know if it will go to those highs again. So it looks like it's come back down. It's finding support at these previous highs. Got this at support. That's not helpful. What can we do here? £4 net stake. Six minutes to go. There hasn't yet been massive convincing signs of reversal, which is why I'm still trying to hold out. But yeah, time is ticking down. So it would potentially.
This event will start in 5 minutes.
Add to this, but I'd want to see like a sharp move down here to allow me to do that. Coming to 5.5 now. That's broken 1.9. So I've let this pull back quite deeply to these lows here. And if this convincingly goes past 5s, it's definitely not good. It's one of those slow burners. Just gradually the loss can just increase. And you can see because the charts lag, yeah, on the wrong side of this for sure. So what can we do? 4 minutes to the off. see the money building on that, and that's starting to move out further as well. So I had to cut my losses there. Ugh, £1 and £1 11 pence. Yeah, so maybe held on to that one for a bit too long. Well, definitely held on to that for too long. But yeah, got a red up on that rather than, see that increase, that loss increase, and £1.11 you can recover from that. It's not too bad, but it's just don't want it to be something that I can't recover from. And again, it's just why I deal with small stakes for now until I can iron out some of these kinks, just to understand what works and what doesn't. So this one here, next one, we've got 10 minutes to the off. When's the next one after this? 25 grand. Let's see what we can do on this one. 10 minutes to the off. Favourite of threes, rangy. Second favourite, just broken resistance here, potentially moving higher. Third favourite, just have a reorder. Okay, it's reordered everything, isn't it? Okay, so resistance, this is a support. Fours. Just trying to think how to structure this and for reference points. So I feel this is the best reference point that I can see, is that this is drifting. It's found support at fours. This has come in. So I'm looking to take a potential long position should this move back into fours, anticipating that some of that bullishness could continue. Going to put something at the market, at the touch price as well. Eight minutes to the off. Just looking at this one here. Oh, right, I've got filled. Let's just pay attention to what's in front of me. That breaking fours could be. Should have had more skin in the game on that one, as you can see, or just being a bit more aggressive on the take profit. But hey, missed it. C'est la vie. As you can see, that chart took a while to up there, date that, but I was right in terms of the direction. But I didn't have enough filled at the prices I wanted to really capitalize on that. So let's see what else you can see. Quickly glancing off screen here. So okay. This one could be finding resistance off of... Okay. I'm just trying to see what's obvious. So I seen... You know, these aren't great price odds, but I've seen... This one, obviously, I just feel I might be a bit too late on that. But this one I've seen here has been persistent at finding resistance off of 7s here quite clearly. So just taking a position.
This event will start in 5
based
minutes.
on that.
5 minutes.
So I need this to hold as resistance, and for, you know, this ideally to continue to drift, which should help this come in, or any of the others drift in. That was the thing that just popped out to me, really. And because these are higher odds as well, each tick is going to be worth more in terms of greened profit or loss. Okay. Oh, still got 4 to lay off. Dear oh dear. Pay attention. Hopefully that doesn't cost me. Scheiße. I was absolutely right on that, but didn't realise I had... didn't realise my stake was that big. Eesh. What's the time? 3:30. Has this been holding? Is stuff still drifting? Oh, mate, that should have been a 53p profit. But I still feel it could move off of this resistance. Risky game, just added to that position. Or attempted to add to it. 3 minutes to off. This resistance has to hold. Or if I get filled on that, I think I might just call it a day. Get filled on this one. Getting filled, okay. Yeah, lapses in concentration there, really. I didn't realise what my net stake was. My fault. So could have got... hang on, let me do an overall net. Could have got more on that if I'd been paying attention. And that would probably been half of what, you know, I mean, it's probably about 10, 20p more than what this is greened up at the moment. But yeah, c'est la vie. Still, I mean, it's a decent, that's way above my average profit, so can't complain. So this is why it's important not just to, you know, panic if you've had a loss come through, because losses will happen. And just be aware that, you know, you can always make it back during the day. The market's always just going to give you more opportunity. It's just not going to give you more money to trade with. So this one here, favourites 2s, break even, coming into support. Second favourite 2s, come in, found support, started to drift, hitting resistance of the previous lows here. Potentially a reversal though. 10 minutes, 9 minutes to the off. Strong support at 2s. Although this has broken resistance, so that could be a break of 2s. Just gone through. I am tempted to short that or go long on that. I just want to get the timing right though. My hesitation is I can't read the exact numbers off of the charts. Even if I zoom in, I want to know exactly what the support or resistance level is. I have to guess. That could be going into resistance. Okay. So, oh, not that much. Shit. Was that twos? Ah, fuck, got filled on it. Let me just lighten this slightly. So what I'm saying here is that twos is going to act as support, and we can see at least some movement higher as it breaks twos. And the reason I've gone in with slightly higher position is because as it goes into less than twos, the per tick is going to be more. It's fucking broken it, hasn't it? And this is totally wrong side of this. 6 minutes tee off as well. Not my proudest trade there. Let's see if I can. Oh, what are you doing? Come on. Ugh. Had the chance to get out there, break even as well, moved it. What the oof. Okay. So I was trying to split it so that I could at least get some potential profit. Big chunk of money came in, which pushed down the price again. So it did come back to resistance as I anticipated. But then it's basically done a retrace and then moved away again. So I'm just looking to get out of break even at the moment. Let's see if that's possible. Get matched. Some of it got matched on the rest. So got out of that one just about. But again, just lapses of concentration and unnecessary movement. And it is at this point finding support and moving higher. But time's tick down on this, so I'm gonna move on to the next one, just so I've got a bit more breathing room to maneuver, knowing the type of situation that I've done better at is when I've got a bit more time to maneuver. 12 minutes tee off. Wow, whoa! You can just see a shit ton of money on this one. 103 grand, 12 minutes tee off. Very short price favourite. 1.15. It's just been oscillating between a very short range. Could make a market on this where I just lay and then back, or back and then lay, just between 1.15 and 1.14. Prefer not to do that though, because maybe if it would be much earlier, like 10 minutes more, like 20 minutes or 30 minutes before the off, that would have been more viable. But as we move into the 5 minutes before the off, it's become more volatile, which just increases my risk because it could just break either way. So just going to see if there's anything else I can see that might be viable. If not, it might be a case of just moving on to the next one. Let me just see when the next one is. 142, 22 grand matched. Oh god. Yeah, this is one of those tricky points where want to trade, but market conditions aren't right. I don't really quite know how to trade this. other than, like I said, just making markets on it. And there's just a lot of money to go behind. You can see it's like $2,000. These are all, thousands of pounds that need to go behind to get matched. So it's highly liquid, but it's not very volatile. And ideally you want to see a bit of volatility so that things, get matched or filled. And there's more profit potential. So those are some of the reasons why I'm not really looking to trade this. Let's just see what the next one's saying. So we've got 23 grand matched. Not great. 15 minutes to the off. I like that. I was comfortable with that. Tight book. Trading at 4s here with the favourite. Second favourite. So the favourites come in, found support, started to drift. Second favourites come in, gone out, and then just consolidated. Arguably hitting previous highs here, so going into resistance. Guessing around 5s. That is useful information. So this is going into 5s. This is going into 4.5 as resistance. Not seeing much from the other ones. But let's see what we can make of this. I mean, these are quite... at least in the most recent move, what I'm looking at is this movement here, right? This, and then this. They're both hitting resistance at the moment, which means they can fall away. But what I want is to see one doing, hitting in support and the other hitting resistance. And there's a slight bias on this to the upside as well. These lows have got higher and the highs have got higher, whereas this, it has done that. To be honest, no, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's a bit of a tricky one to read, and there's not much volatility. So this would be a really easy place just to lose money, just by saying, I want to do something. It's kind of doing that. Let me just put some money in just to see what happens. That's a good way to get fucked right over. So yeah, these sometimes can be the hardest ones to, a bit of discipline, I guess, comes in, where you've got to just think to yourself, can I actually see something that's clear? Is it worth the risk? Is the reward, worth the risk? At this point, I'm just trying to see something becomes a bit more clear. Does look like it's punching a bit higher, so it's broken those previous highs and edged ever so slightly higher. Do not even know how to pronounce that name. Foss Lass, apparently, is his full name. Where's that? Maybe Scotland. Again, my racing knowledge is... it's in Wales. Oh, okay. Yeah. Not too sure on the pronunciation of that. So you can see that there's at least in recent times there's been a bit more inverse relationship. This has started to move up and this has started to move down, but it's only moved into support rather than breaking lower. If this was to convincingly break lower, then I'd be more inclined to go long on this. and potentially, short this, or potentially short this. But not really seeing that at the moment. Just reorder in case there's anything else that's come in or gone out. This one has caught my eye. These look to be more inversely related, because this one has gone out, this one has come in. So what we got as a reference point here, 9s maybe. Let's use the 9s as a crossover. All right. So just have to be. It's a tricky one because it's going into these lows here. It could just find support. I don't think it's broken them yet. So what I've done, I've put in a couple of positions here, just to get some skin in the game on this one, in the anticipation that this could continue to move lower and this continue to drift. So I need 9s to hold as resistance. I'll put my closing orders here. I've got a net position of 6. Got filled on one of those. I'll maintain for now. It's a bit sticky. So the money isn't really getting matched immediately. But okay, there's a big chunk at 9 coming there. Could help this position. But it's still not getting matched. And that's outside the money as well, so it'd be more convincing if it was 8.8. But it isn't. It isn't, old boy. Let's see if we can get matched. £24 left to be matched. There we go. So got matched on that. Okay. So we've got 31p, which is, it's more than the average that I'd look to get out of a race based on these stakes. So the question I ask myself is here: do I want to continue in this and just maybe look for other opportunities with less time to work with, where statistically I've found that I will give money back, or do I want to move on to the next one? I mean, there is some clarity in what we're seeing here. This is clearly coming in. This is clearly drifting. So could try and jump on that again. But I'm going to try to just work within the old comfort zone for now. And at least get some more samples of what I feel, at least for now, have been successful, which is kind of working with that 15 minutes plus before the off. So I'll green on that and go do one, go on to the next one, green and go. 16 minutes to the off, 52 grand matched, tight book, odds on favorite, gone out, come in, bias to a drift, but just wary that it's coming in and finding support here, potentially these previous highs as well, which was previous resistance, now turned into support. These look to be very inversely correlated, which is good because this is moving up, but this is moving down. So there's that seesawing option, seesawing motion at crossover points as well. So there's good reference points to where the support resistance might be. So let's just see what I can read in terms of creating a trade. Okay, so that's just broken 2s. So this could be a sign of this moving like this. It's just broken. Ooh. Don't be too hasty. Don't be too hasty. Let me just think. So going to try and take a position on this, anticipating this is going to move higher now that this is broken twos. I just don't want to get too expedient on the entry point, so get a bad fill. I mean, here isn't great, but you know, I've got some silver orders. Should we see a bit of a retrace? See if we can get some skin in the game on this one at this price. In fact, let me just what was that? 5. Didn't get any money in it, and it's doing what I anticipated. Always annoying, but hey, the market does what it wants. So I was right on that move. Overall, this moved up, this moved down. Slow on the execution, or just a bit late to the game. Bit late to the party. So just need to just chill. take a breather, just see what else is going on. Because the worst thing I could do is just, you know, jump on the back of a bad trade. Even though I was right on that, my timing was poor. So what I'm seeing here is I'm just judging this here as another. Is that smart? I'm gonna stay light on that one. I'm just anticipating this is going to come back into sevens where it's seeing this support. But I've got to be wary that basically this one here and the favourite are correlated in terms of their most recent movement. Is there anything else drifting? Oh god, alright. It's not great to try and look at so many things at the same time, but I'm, at least for now, feel comfortable doing that. So I'm seeing this going into sixes, which it could break. So I'm trying to get in here at twos in anticipation that this could break and this could just find resistance off of its previous support and then move lower. So again, because it's going into less than twos, the position size is slightly bigger than what I might have on another selection, just because each tick is going to be worth more. Or sorry, with £2 stakes, each tick is going to be much less. So yeah, it's about double the position I might normally do. So stolen a couple of ticks there. Again, could have probably been bigger on this one, but that worked out okay. Just gonna see what else I can see. I'll leave this in here for now. Although that looks a bit fucking mash up. Fuck that. No, I'm going to take that out. So I've got some green. Not a whole lot. But to be honest, the two that really stick out for me are these two. This one coming into support off of sixes, and this one moving down, potentially finding resistance off of sixes. So I'm playing this off of support, anticipating that could see this continue to move in, which could push this high, at least to attack its previous highs. So wary as well that 11 minutes off, already got some green, and I'm jeopardizing that by taking new positions. But hey, you know the risks. So I only got myself to blame if it goes wrong. and myself to congratulate if it goes right. So nearing the front of the queue on this one. I think I'm not really anticipating any major breaks on this. So it's just ticks that I'm trying to steal. It's gone. Don't like the way that edged down, so I'm going to try and lighten that. I did get filled on both those positions, but I'm going to put this in here just to attempt to lighten that slightly. And put the exit in now, so in the net position of 4. In fact, let me try not to be too greedy. So it has broken down, but it is still effectively finding some support just below 6s. Chart hasn't updated. Yeah, well, there as soon as I say it, it does it. Fucking this here is still acting as support. Let me just have a glance, see what the other stuff's saying. 9 minutes to the off. Yeah, this is persisting lower. That would help this. Hard to say with that one. How that's going to affect this. That breaking that support could help me, but yeah, I can't hold out for what might happen. I've got to really look and see what is happening. Just gonna reduce my expectations on that. And it's moving away. How long we got? 8 minutes. So it's broken support and potentially making new lows. So I've got to think to myself, does this really have the legs to, you know, what is not where it is now is unlikely to make new highs, but I've gotten out there at break even. So defensive game there. If anything, I think that's gonna. It's just less clarity now for me. And you know, time's ticking down. Anything else would be detrimental. So I did. Oh, hang on, I've got some green on this. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Fair enough. Almost forgot about that. So yeah, it did come out on top. It's just another example where sometimes trading once you've got some green can be detrimental. I mean, it depends on how much green you've got, to be honest. I mean, that because it was only like 8p or whatever it was, it was okay to take another position in my opinion. But if it was something like 20, 30, 40p, then that wouldn't be as enticing to try and take new positions, just based on what I see as my average. You know, what a good session is versus a bad session. I've done enough of these to at least ascertain that. So next one, 14 minutes to the off, like that. Favorite, odds on, steamed in at its lows at the moment. Second favorite, high odds, because this is quite short odds on all the other ones around, you know, 15s, 18. This one here is broken resistance, move higher. This one's come in. Okay, let's have a reorder just in case. Yeah, okay, so this one's come in. So these look like, in most recent moves anyway, they've been correlated. How can you play this? 40 grand matched almost. I mean, shorting this looks like you know, the cursory glance, the sensible thing to be looking for. having a quick look off screen. Okay, so I've got my P&L. I did have a loss of £1.02, but so far it looks like I'm almost back at break even. So yeah, that's just the thing. Just don't be deterred by losses. Although that loss is way out of whack with what might be making per trade, they all chip away at losses. In fact, no. Taking into account the unsettled trades that I have, I'm actually in profit on the day. It's about 31p, so it'll make me 25p up on the day. Again, not looking at the numbers, it's more the strike rate and the money management and the discipline in terms of trading. So I am marginally up on the day after settlement, but yeah, that's just the lesson there is just don't be deterred by losses. So what have we got? What have we got that's tradable? Not liking the readability of this. 11 minutes to the off. Just going to see what the... Alright, so I've moved on to the next one. Just because I like to have that 15 minutes or more. And I wasn't really able to read much out of that one. This one is 60 grand matched, 18 minutes to the off. Favourite come in and consolidated. Second favourite consolidated. Third favourite everything's consolidating at the moment, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if there's money coming through. Because if I was seeing money coming through, then I'd be more than happy just to even at these higher odds just make a market, so sell at support, or sorry, buy at support or sell at resistance. But really, for that to be viable, I'd want to see money coming through every few seconds. So I can see it just by looking at the ladder, nothing's really moving. But if you're ever unsure of that, you can bring up like a volume chart like this one here, and what you want to see is these green bars like this come in high and frequent. So at the moment it's only a few quid that's being matched, like 5-10 quid. You want these to be hundreds or thousands of pounds coming in, and then the distance between them being very short. So we're not seeing money coming through, although there is the context to make markets. I'm very tempted just to back this at 11.5, but it's not a smart move at the moment. See, it would be getting position on it. That's what I'm thinking about. It's about getting it kind of in the queue, if you like, to get matched. You can see the way this is just oscillating between support and resistance. So what I'm saying is, getting in on this, I anticipate that it's at least going to go down to support. But it just feels a bit too early. Just give it a few minutes just to see how this materializes. This one's a similar story. Just be stealing ticks. Is there a good enough reason? Again, I'd love to just back this in when there's a bit more movement. Okay. There's a bit more movement. You can see it's getting a bit more lively. Not quite there, but you can see there's some more movement in the numbers as the money flows in. I guess as one race ends, you know, people start moving their attention to the next race and the next race, so more money starts piling in. Does feel like there's a slight bias to this moving down, and this is finding support. Keep this nice and light. Still got enough time so that this will be at least quite flat. Well, hopefully, he says. So got matched on one position, put in a closing position. We've seen these highs get slightly lower and these lows get lower. It's marginal, it's quite subtle, which is why I've gone with a bias to the downside, but we'll see. Yeah, look, it's just attacking those highs now, but there's still context to it in potentially coming back to find support at these lows. Just gonna play a bit defensive and go for a slightly lesser, or at least put the closing order in for a get position on this for a smaller amount of profit, and then just hope that these highs here hold as resistance, these previous highs here. $12 minutes. Do I want to add another position to this? I think there's enough context. It looks like that's finding support and it's been choppy. Did I just get filled on that? Shit, yeah, I did. Alright, pay attention. Ugh. Is that breaking? It's marginally going higher. Don't want to see it go much higher than this. In fact, what I'm going to do is just try and thin that out a bit because it did make new highs, but it's still at least quite within the context here of hitting resistance. Oh, there. Don't like that. Got to play defense. Ah, shit. What else? So what could help this would be this moving higher. Obviously it's at 8s now, so a break of 8s definitely won't be great. Just going to have it ready at 6 just in case I need to scratch it completely. Nine minutes to the off. And what I've done there, you can see I've got a net stake of 6. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on this favourite or anything else that might just move in, causing this to drift further. But I mean, this is gonna, if anything, this is gonna have the biggest impact on it, or on aggregate the other ones together. But yeah, I must say it's not the best of positions here. We've still got enough time, so 9 minutes to go. Shit. Don't get filled. So I saw that bus through 8s. So just anticipating the knock-on effect could be that moving higher. So just you can see the way I just fiddled around with the exits there, just willing to take a loss on it. Just play defense. There we go. So got a potential 25p loss on this. Just going to have a quick look around just to see if there's anything else that I can see in terms of potential plays. It would be this really. This coming back into 8s. I'm just going to build a position to potentially trade that. Gotta be careful not too steep on that, because that's potentially £12 that could get matched on. It's relatively heavy, but again, know the risks, know what can go wrong. If it goes wrong, it's my own fault. If it goes right, it's my fault as well. Partially matched on some of that. It's rare to see with such small stakes. That's going to be more of an issue, you know, trading bigger stakes that will only get part of the order matched, but not focusing too much on that for now. So carrying some green at the moment. Just going to cancel that one because that's a bit too much. We got 5 minutes, right? So
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
am I being too greedy with this? Yeah, I could have just got out. Okay, got out as I wanted. But I just had a quick glance and saw this coming in as well, which isn't going to aid this position. Going to keep this in for now. I feel it could find some resistance off of 8s. And abundantly aware I'm jeopardizing the gains that I've made. But I've got at least enough context for the trade. It's cutting a bit tight in my typical trading terms, so I need this 8 to hold as resistance. Potentially push this lower. Strongly drifting on that, isn't it? Let's see if that it's not helping. Come on, don't go above 8s. Play defense on that, bring that up. Unlikely to make. It's coming into resistance now around this 9s level. So as you can see, it's gone into that. I mean, I'll break even on this, but obviously still have the loss from this one. So I was at around about break even, having got back the gains on that, but decided to take another position. Again, aware of the risks, especially as it comes into that less than 5 minute threshold for me. I tend to do not as well, but hey, that's the thing. At least I'm going in knowing what could go wrong. Whereas before, I think what some people might do is take positions where, or what I'd done before is just take positions and not know how it might go in my favor, how it might not. So this I need to manage now, because we're seeing some erratic movement and we're only 2 minutes to the off. Just gonna reduce that so to 2, and could come back into 8s. Okay, would have got filled to full break even, but who knows what the market's going to do. So took a small loss there, 14 to 16p loss. No big deal, happy with the way I managed that. But again, it's just that extra bit of greed, trying to push it that bit more within the threshold where I know less than 5 minutes. Statistically, I mess things up, but at the same time, I can't have that. It's such a balancing act. I can't have that in the be superstitious about that, in the fact that I'm going to lose money if I trade at less than 5 minutes, because that is just something that it's just superstition. There's clearly ways to make money in the last 5 minutes. So sometimes reading too much stuff into stuff without having enough evidence to it can mess you up. But it's he has a real balance in that, trying to work with what the stats say and not trying to bias yourself. This is the wonderful world of training now. So next one we've got here, we have got, how long have I been recording for? All right, just having a quick peek off screen to see what my P&L's saying on the day. Yeah, so I've got back over break even. Even accounting for loss. Strike rate's doing pretty good. That's the only that's the only second loss of the day. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So we've got a favourite here at 3s, 15 minutes to the off. Let me just do a quick reorder. Quite choppy, coming into resistance of these previous highs, so could potentially be falling away for a short. So it's just under 4s. Second favourite looks like it's steaming. Potentially it's broken that support, making a lower high potentially there. Third favourite here is quite choppy, but 5s is a good reference point here. It's moving into. Okay, let me just have a think about what we can do here. Yeah, if these charts were more accurate, I would be looking to see exactly what that previous lower high is and sell off of that. But because they're not, it's a bit more guesswork. It's about 375. So here. So I'm looking to short this based on this being a, potentially moving lower and that being a lower high and finding resistance against what was previous support. But I want something to corroborate that theory, which would be something else off of. I guess this could be viably support, really. Let's just run up. Run up to 4s. Okay. Don't be so. I'm tempted just to jump in on that, but just don't want to be too expedient. Just wait for these charts because it's run up. It's hitting the support at 4s, which could be good potential to get short on, but I need to see more convincing signs of support on this one. Sorry, resistance on this one. Tricky. 12 minutes to the off. Other play here would be selling resistance on 5s here. Another thing to look for could be a break of 4s on this rather than selling it, as I haven't got the convincing signs off of this yet. A break of 4s and then a pull back into it for potential higher highs. Just waiting for something to be a bit more clear. Come on. What you got for me? .5 is resistance on this, just below. Mehmet 1222, appreciate the follow. Thanks, man. Hope you have a good trading and have a good day as well. So, yeah, this resistance at 4 does look tasty. Starting to consolidate now, but it's just not enough reason. Just not enough reason. What else can I see? Support at 7s. Very high prices though. Don't want to just make stuff up. Do not want to make stuff up. Just want to trade what I see, really. Does look like that's persisting lower, doesn't it? Okay. So that move lower now, it looks like I've missed that, but it could push this above 4s. Or something else above its crossover. What's been shifting? Maybe it's this one that's been shifting. Careful, mate. I'm preempting a break on that. So I think this dramatic move that we saw here was perhaps correlated to this move out here. So they were inversely related. Joe Dog 90, how you doing, man? Thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Hope you're good. It's a wonderful Sunday. Yeah, I'm doing all right today. Joe Dog 90 just asking, doing any good today? Well, I had a pretty bad. I had a couple of losses come in, but being able to bring it back to over break even and just slightly up on the day. But yeah, it's just practice hours still, really. So happy with the progress so far. So I'm doing this every day on Twitch, and then I upload as well to YouTube. Mainly for my own benefit, as I keep saying. So it's not altruistic at all, but if it helps other people, that's cool, man. But yeah, it's going all right. So with this one, favourite had come into 3s, and it had found support. It's bouncing off of 3s. So I'm just looking to reassess now. Joe Dog 90. This software is it's called BetAngel. So this is one of the softwares for trading Betfair. So betting exchanges. So yeah, this is the one that I'm using at the moment. It has bounced off 4s. So this is finding a lot of support at 3s. This is finding a lot of resistance at 4s, which is good. They're kind of what's the word? Inversely related, like antagonistic muscles, if you want to get kind of all sciencey. So there's one pushes, the other one pulls. So this going into 3s again. If this, I'm looking for signs of this moving down and then this moving up. Where now I've only got 6 minutes to work with though, which isn't my preferred time frame. So just looking at how these react really around these crossover levels. Yeah, I might be a bit late on that. So just looking to take a short. So I'm anticipating this resistance is going to hold, but I'm trying to get some skin in the game. Trying to get this filled. 5.5 minutes. Going into that danger zone for me. Let's see if we can get filled. So I'm saying that this 3s needs to hold as support and this 4s needs to hold as resistance. That could become less likely now as we go into when more money comes into the market. In fact, the more money coming into the market could push this past 4s. So I'm aware of what could happen. It's actually gone past 3s, isn't it? Shit. Let me just play defense on this. It's starting to bounce. So it's finding support, which helps my position. This hasn't really nudged much higher than the 4, so okay. I'll leave that in. See if I can get a feel on that. I'm going to move that up just because this is starting to make higher highs and higher lows. Yeah, not the most profitable of ones, but hey, got out at a profit, didn't lose money. Joe Dog 90, is that your bet in the very right of each chart? Kind of, yeah. So this is basically the very small stakes at the moment, just while I'm like doing this. So it's the minimum stakes at £2, but these it's basically backing or laying at £2, and this is the profit on a selection. So at the moment I've got if this selection wins, then there's no risk basically at the moment. But if this comes in, it will be 19p that this gets, and then 0 if none of them, if any of the others come in. What I do is I hedge it across all of the positions so that regardless of the outcome, there'll be a profit that's made. So there's 6 selections in this race, 6 horses. So regardless of what comes in, I would make a profit. So yeah. So let's just have a look at the next race. So the next one we've got here, 10 minutes tee off. Not ideal for me. Not great. It's okay, low K liquidity, 33 grand matched. Tight book. Very flat favourite at 3s. Very flat second favourite. Very flat. These are all very, very flat. So there's not much there's no definable trend in these to really go off the back of, which isn't ideal. What I want to do is see some sort of visible trend. I could just make, again, as I've said in this before, just make markets look to, back off of resistance and sell off of resistance and buy off of support, but it's just less profit potential. I'm just gonna have a peek and see what the next one after this is saying in terms of tradability, because my time might be better spent with a bigger lead up. Yeah, in fact, that's what I'm going to do. So we've got 16 minutes to the off on this. Odds on favourite, very shortly priced. It's just been very rangy. Definitely enough money matched on this, 90 grand. Makes it tradable. Second favourite, come in, but again, very rangy in recent times. Third favourite, fourth favourite, all very choppy. Just going to reorder those. So what I can see that's good is that this is at resistance and this is at support. So and the support on this seems to be at 6s. So I could, well, it looks like it might be marginally breaking. I just need to be careful not to jump on that too quick. It's could be this could be a sign of it breaking sixes. I'm just going to hold off. I was tempted to basically lay this on support in that it could bounce and attack these highs again, but I've seen this kind of creeping higher past its previous highs, so it's broken resistance and is moving potentially to make new highs, which will mean that because of the inverse relationship, this could move lower. So that's why I held off on shorting that. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some speculative positions here in anticipation that this could break lower, or at the very least hit support. So just waiting to get filled here. There is a lot of money coming in on that side, but it's matched on that side. All right, I'll maintain on this. So getting filled on that. 14 minutes to off, so nice chunk of time to work with. I'm going to put closing order in there. So it's moved up. Which I'm okay with for now. So hopefully this will get filled. So I need to got a net position of 6. So currently carrying a loss, but it has moved into that resistance of 7s, which I'm hoping will maintain and pull the price down, and this will find support at what was its previous highs. So previous resistance comes support, and this will help move the price down. But that's the premise. At least that's the context that I'm building around it to, structure the trade. Might not go that way. In fact, what I'm doing here is putting out all my closing positions before support. I could, of course, anticipate that it breaks lower past that 6s, but the recent price action hasn't suggested that that is going to be likely. So I've gone for the more probable trade rather than what might be possible. Might move one of these up actually, while the market still lets me. So just trying to not be too greedy and see profits evaporate. So I've moved one of those orders, partial exit up to 7s. Sorry, 6.6. So just lightening the position. This still looks like it's on a gentle drift. Well, there's a big chunk of money coming there. So the drifting in this is going to help my position, but I do want to see some more signs of moving down, and that chunk of money there isn't going to help things. How long we got? 11 minutes to off. Oh, so it's moved into 7s. Still willing to hold that. It's just if it breaks 7s, then that's going to be problematic. Joe Dog 90. Yeah, I've seen your question there, Joe. Just as soon as I've exited this, I'll be able to answer that for you. So this does look like it's persisting to potentially, reverse. But just holding tight, at least for now, because I've got enough time, and it's still struggling to move much higher. Going to be a little less optimistic with my take profit there. Just trying to protect capital. Seeing it move away on me a bit. So it's having a bit of a knee-jerk around 8s. So as it's gone through 8s, it's kind of moved through it and then pulled back. Now that could be, the sign of a continuation where that strength continues and it moves higher, or it could just be a forced breakout. Now, I feel I'm holding on to this for a bit too long because it could get very nasty. So I'm just trying to at least reduce the position. So we'll be carrying a bit of a loss. But if this is going into support here, could see some movement to the upside on this, which could mean some movement to the downside on this. So just getting filled front of the queue anyway. Hopefully that will get filled. So I've got, just need to get the rest of that filled. 35p, come on. Okay, so I've got a net position now of 4 that I need to lay off. So 7 minutes to be off. So you're asking Joe Dog 90. So you're risking 8 when you can. It's kind of. I mean, the question is, I'm risking an amount. You've given an example of 8 when you can only get or 6p return. So I mean, basically here, if you look at what this is saying here, so I've basically used I forget what it was, like a £4 stake to potentially win £19.76 outright. So I'll be risking that 4 to get that outright, but it would mean a loss, a guaranteed loss. The only way I'll be able to win money is if this selection comes in. Anything else going on to win, I would lose money. So the way that I'm doing this is hedging that win or loss. I'm using bigger amounts of money to make smaller returns. But, when you do that over and over again, that all adds up. And at this point, I'm just using very small stakes just to get, used to it and get a bit of a track record just to see how these markets work with the view to scaling up to bigger amounts. So, just if it was, say, a £200 stake, then each of these would be worth, what am I working with? So 2, so 4. So £400 stake overall. Each of these would be worth £4. Sorry, just trying to concentrate and speak at the same time. Sorry, bear me one sec. Oh, shit. Chunk of money coming in. Yeah, it can be tricky to talk and trade at the same time, but just bear with me one sec. Resistance. No, I need to get out of this. Okay. So yeah, okay. So at the moment, for example, what I've done is I'm effectively laying this. If I wanted to just lay this outright, it would mean if any of the other selections come in, I would make £0, and if this were to win, so this is it's a bit of a tricky concept if you're just used to betting. So betting is just basically saying that you know that you're
This
betting on
event
the
will
outcome
start in
coming
5
through,
minutes.
so that
5
that selection
minutes.
wins. Laying is the opposite. So you're saying that that selection loses. So the way this is set up, I'm laying this for £7.20, and anything else that comes in, I wouldn't make a profit at all. But yeah, that's by the way. I'm going to just hedge this up. So I've got a 92p loss overall. So in the same way that I hedge up profit, I hedge up loss. So yeah, no, it wasn't a very good explanation. But sorry, just try to focus on the markets and speak at the same time. Sometimes we'll get muddled. But I do this every day anyway for the foreseeable future. So here on Twitch and then YouTube as well. I upload afterwards. The link for that will be my profile. So we've got one at 242. One at 250. Okay, what I'm going to do, I think I'll make this the last one. At least for now. I might come back later in the day, just have a break. Because you can start to see diminishing returns, really, by just forcing yourself to continue to trade more when, you shouldn't. So, going to have a look at this one. 35 grand. There is one before this. So let's just see how long on that is. 10 minutes, 40 grand. It's on. 12.5. Okay. Just going to concentrate on this one. So I'm looking to short this because this one here looks like it's creating lower lows, lower highs. It's coming to resistance at these previous lows. Favorite here is drifting, which could help this move lower, but I'm just trying to get a decent fill on this. So it's a bit of a waiting game to see if this was going to pull back. And it can be a bit boring, just for some people just waiting on like watching paint dry, waiting for the position to get filled, but that's the reality of it. So I just need this to pull back, really, just a tick or so, just so I can potentially get filled. Still got 8 minutes to be off. It's broken nines. Let's see. 8s. Okay, so it did move into it. but it's just moved off again. Let's see if we can get a fill. Got a decent position on that, so I'll maintain. But just got to be aware of what the other. So this is moving up. So I've missed it. This was moving up sharply, which has caused this now to move in. I didn't have any skin in the game, so I haven't been able to benefit from that move. But I'm anticipating that drift in, or that drift out, is going to help move some of the others come in. So I've got multiple positions here. If one of these gets matched, then I'm going to close out the other ones. Just moves into it. Let's see if it gets filled. Especially if that breaks twos. Could just find resistance. Oh, okay, so I've got filled on this one. Just gonna... What positions have I got on these? Focus on one thing at a time. So I've got filled on this one. About to get filled on this one. So I need 9 to hold as resistance. Just add in another position
this event
there.
Will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Need to be careful. Need to be a bit more cautious. Has gone into 9s. So got some of those positions taken out. Got £6 left to lay off. £4 left to lay off. £2 there to lay off. And profit. So just gonna green that up. So 35p helps with, crawl back at some of the losses on the day. I'm slightly down now. I'm gonna just have a look at the next one, just see how I feel about that, and decide whether to participate. Just go over the P&L quickly. So I don't think they've all settled yet. Let's have a look. 435. So started the day 23p profit, 4p profit, 19p profit, 10p profit, £1 and 2 pence loss, 41p profit, break even, 31p profit, 8p profit, minus 14p, then 5p profit, and then that last one was minus maximum 94p loss, and then a profit of about 34p. Puts me on a net of about, let's call that a net 60, so that's about Although that hasn't settled. It's about, I think it's about a net minus, sorry, just minus 35. Yeah, not bad. I mean, again, I'm just working on strike rates at the moment. So let me just have a look at see what else I can see. No, I think I'm going to call that a day. So slight loss on the day. Again, could be better, could be worse. It's only a small loss, so I'll enjoy that and be back again tomorrow. Just live to trade another day. That's the goal, man. Don't lose too much. But thanks to the guys who interacted today. Appreciate that. Again, follow me on Twitter, on Twitch, Mr. Exchange Trader, and then also there's a YouTube channel as well. Daily stream on Twitch, and then I upload to YouTube after as well. Thanks a lot, and see you tomorrow. Take care.